Hello out there. Welcome to episode 246 of Convincing Idiots. This week, we're going to discuss all kinds of stuff, such as there is an AI film festival taking place. See if it sounds like it's of any interest to us. We're also going to be talking about people versus animals. Sometimes people are dumb around them. Do you root for the animals? Do you root for the people? Do you want people to get hurt? All kinds of fun stuff, guys. Dean's going to fumble his way through an Aaron Blake insurance read. And then for our final segment, we are going to discuss our favorite picks for fictional characters to interview on a podcast. So, stick around, and without further ado, let's start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right, test. Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
Kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And my name is Nicholas, and I am your millennial. And we are your podcast, Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three different friends representing three different generations. That's right, we get together here just about each and every week to discuss all things nerd and pop culture. But you know that by now. But if you don't, perhaps, or if you have a friend that doesn't, you should encourage them to go and find us on all of the social media platforms in which they are on. You can find links to them by going to Google and typing in Convincing Idiots Linktree. That's LINKTREE. You can find, like I said, those links to the socials. You can find links to our merch store. You know, it's getting kind of toasty coming up here in Northeast Ohio over the next week or so. Perhaps you're in the market for a brand new tank top. Why not a tank top with Convincing Idiots on it to both support your guns being out in the sun and also your favorite podcast? What could be better than that? You can find those links and so much more also on our website. If you go to convincingidiots.wordpress.com, you'll see exactly what I mean. So we are back for episode 246 of Convincing Idiots. Cheers, boys. I've missed you. I don't know about you guys. I am drinking a lovely gift this evening from my beautiful partner in this life of 15 years. She got me for our anniversary.
Did I get you something?
Ellicottville Brewing. It is Strawberry Crunch Bar cream ale, and it is fucking delicious.
Sounds good.
What about you guys? What are you having to drink tonight, Dean?
I am having, it's all tucked away in my new Frost Buddy cozy
Nice.
here.
I love those things. Yep.
Dude, so good. But I'm having a green tea beer from Brighton Brewery.
That
Nice.
sounds good.
Dude, it is so good. It's got a little spice to it. Yeah. This is where it's at.
I still got to get there. I have to get a stamp from there. That sounds good. Well, congratulations to Nick. Congratulations on your
Well, thank you.
anniversary, 15 years. That's
Thank you very much.
quite the accomplishment. Lovely
It's
family.
14 years longer than I expected to last, but here I am.
You thought
I'm
it
having
was last a year? Wow, you
yeah,
I had the under on that one.
yeah. You went in the over under. You went way over. So good for
Yeah.
you. I'm just having a very simple. It's just called cold beer by Brewdog in
Nice.
Columbus, Ohio. Very light, refreshing lager. Very, very good. So inexpensive. You're in the Northeast Ohio area. Check it out. I don't know how far they distribute, but very, very good. Probably all through Ohio.
Speaking of inexpensive,
Yes.
I'm right here.
this just in, there
Oh.
is a cheap beer update, ladies and gentlemen. I told Dean the other day at work, but
Mhm.
I've been raving about the bushels, right? The Bush Light Apple. There's a new player in the market, boys. I saw it the other day at the grocery store. There is a 30-pack now of Bush Light Lime for your summer
Lime.
drinking pleasure, and
Bush.
I am excited to get into some of that.
Did you buy some?
I didn't yet. I
Oh,
actually,
okay.
so I got
Getting
kind of
some of
lost
that
in the sauce.
tartness of tart lime.
I was in the beer aisle and I had my heart set on the Leinenkugel. I think they call it the Liney Lime Lodge or something. It's their
Yeah.
lime beer, and I had that at a restaurant a few weeks ago and absolutely loved it. So I've been on the hunt for that, and I found that, and then I saw the Busch Light Lime, and I saw some other lime beers, and I started getting confused. So I just decided to settle down with what I went there for was the Leinenkugel, but the Busch Light is definitely on the list.
It's dangerous though, right? Because if you're doing 30 at a time, if you don't like it, you have
I think
29 of these
in a sitting.
bastards,
30 at a time is fucking dangerous. You're right.
I would try that. Well, it's not the lime beers for me. It can't be too acidic. If it's too limey, I
Yes.
can't have too much of it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So,
You
but,
limey bastard.
yes, that's right. All right, guys, we're getting some pop culture headlines here. So
Let's do it.
yeah, AI story. More and more, of course, AI in the news out there. So there was a recent AI film festival in Los Angeles. So the festival, which was also held in New York City this month in June, it ballooned from 300 film submissions in its first year to 6,000 submissions this year. So it's using AI in movies, as it says here, it's not completely new, but the technology has continued, of course, to evolve. So these are films that aren't necessarily just all made with AI, but
Okay.
if I read it correctly, they use a lot of AI in the film making. So it's to kind of showcase AI
As like an
tools and
effect,
technology.
or just across the board, like different types of things. Like some
I think
maybe
different
are
types of
using it for
things.
effects, some are okay.
Yeah, it seems to be different types of things to highlight short films that leveraged AI. So in some way, shape, or form, you leveraged AI in the film. So, interesting. I think that certainly various creators, as we've talked before, are worried about the continued development of AI because it could take jobs away from people, and other people have the position where, well, I mean, the technology is here. You may as well learn to leverage it, or maybe get left behind. So, if you learn how to use it effectively, then that in itself could create opportunities for people who know how to use it. And I don't know, maybe you can make movies that are less expensive to make because of AI, because of the tools and technology. So, what do you think of the AI film festival idea and celebrating and showcasing the tools, Nick? What do you think?
So when you first said it, I'm like, I kind of hate it, right? Because I'm just thinking it's like all AI done, like films that are just like generated by AI. I guess it's kind of intriguing the more you explain it. I mean, that there are ways that you could use AI that could be beneficial to making a film. So maybe I guess I have the thought of maybe I shouldn't judge it too harshly until like maybe you get an example or see a little bit what people are putting forth. But we've kind of touched on it on this podcast in the past that like I really like I like my art to stay purely art and like very organic and done by humans. I feel like that's where it's like creativity is kind of part of the sauce there. It's part of the formula. So I feel like, I guess, like I said, there's maybe ways that you can use AI that I'm just kind of pigeonholing it as a lazy, tool or something like that to use. But it would be interesting to see an example or some examples, or at least maybe not even see, but rather just get more explanation on, like, here's how we used AI. Like, no, we didn't write a script with it, or we didn't, but like it helped us in this way, or it made our indie films seem a little more legitimate because of the tools we used, and get more notoriety and more attention on the project. I don't know, but I don't. An AI film festival is like,
Would you go see
I
it?
don't know.
Would you want to go to the film festival and understand what they're?
Maybe,
Is
yeah,
that
I
of
would be
interest?
out of curiosity. I would be interested to see what it's all about, I guess.
Good, Dean. What do you think?
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put together a whole film festival based on asking a computer a question and letting it do work.
Some of it could be.
What? Well, that's what it is. What you fucking put Gronk in there and then have it put this scene together, or put the. I understand that a lot of movies, CGI is computer generated. But that computer generation was done by humans. I mean, there was somebody putting the thought of, like, what this has to look like through this filter. And from my understanding of what this AI is you have to, or you just say, this is what I need, and it does it. Where's the fucking like Nick said, the creativity? Where's the soul in that? I get that it's a good tool for different things, and even for some movies and different parts of movies. But to have a film festival based on it, I don't think we're there yet, right? And if we are, I don't want to be there. I don't, unless I'm misunderstanding what you're capable or how you have to create with this AI. But as of now, from my understanding of it, because I have the goddamn Chat GPT, and I ask it, I make me a picture with this,
yeah,
and it does it.
Yeah.
And there's no thought besides a question. And maybe there's a good chance I'm off on this. I am an idiot. So, but as of my idiot brain now, I think it's stupid.
That's what I'm thinking of, like that. I think we are, because we don't know a lot about it, I think we're jumping automatically to, like, oh, this is just, like it's like,
Chat
I think
GPT.
maybe we're assuming, yes, it's that in movie form, or it's maybe more like that we're maybe not giving people enough credit for the creativity they are putting in, but maybe they're using the AI as a tool to kind of expedite some of the process. Not necessarily like it's not their ideas, or it's not their, they didn't go, hey, write me a script about this brief synopsis, and then it spits it out. And they're like, great, So, but I mean, I don't know. Who knows to what degree? That's why I'd be interested to see it, I guess, or to learn more about it.
I won't even. I've never seen any of those. What is it? The goddamn blue thing movies by James Cameron.
Avatar.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those. Only for the simple fact that, like, it's just a walking cartoon. It's just an updated version of a cartoon. Like, what? I don't need to see that.
Well, it's no different. It's Iron Man. I mean, it's the Avengers. It's motion capture with actual actors. It's no different than the Marvel movies.
No, you have a point.
I mean, to an extent, you know what I mean? Like there
Sure.
are,
but with it being one of the first ones to go that extreme with it,
yeah,
I didn't have that understanding back then.
Yeah.
And still, they still look kind of cartoonish, right? I mean, in my eyes, I guess. I don't know.
Well, those are pretty amazing. Those. Going back to that, go see those in the theater in a 3D is really an amazing experience. The stories, but as far as the AI
The
stuff,
first one was Yeah, I was sorry. I was just because I was like, I thought the first one was really cool and had a good message and everything.
Yeah.
And then like they made the second one, and they're it's like, I feel like you're kind of we got it. We got the point. I
Yeah.
don't know if there needed to be a second one. It wasn't a bad movie, but I don't know that we needed
It's
it. But
gonna be
anyway,
like
go
4
on.
more or some shit.
Yeah, it'd be a third, I think. Yeah, with the AI stuff, I mean, are we there yet? Yeah, we are there. They have a fucking film festival showcasing it. Yeah.
Right.
So it is here, So yeah, I would be interested to see it, like you said, Nick. I maybe they do. I don't know. I would assume maybe they do, but this film was used AI in this way. That I would like to know. We use AI in this way. We use this technology. Okay, let me see what it is. It's a short film. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's here again. It's here. So either you have to learn how to keep up with the technology, use the tools effectively, or you might be, as a filmmaker, you might wind up being left behind in some respects. Not all respects. There's certainly something about good acting and storytelling and everything too, but effects wise, you might start to get left behind. Well, on the negative side of
I want a
AI,
movie where you have AI have John Goodman make out with Marilyn Monroe. I'd watch that.
it could happen.
Sure. Yeah.
You could probably almost ask for that. Well, maybe you may not, because this lawsuit here is a good example of maybe why you can't. So there's an AI image generator, Midjourney, and Disney has filed a lawsuit against Midjourney on June 11th, and it was hailed by creatives as a welcome development. So some people are happy to see Disney suing Midjourney. Why is that? Because it's Disney's basically saying that AI technology should not be so open to where it can create images of copyrighted characters and content, right?
Mhm.
So if you look at ChatGPT, for example, I tried to do this for something recently where I said, something with Darth Vader, like Darth Vader gets a Father's Day card, something like that, and it said can't do it. ChatGPT would not do it because the content was not supported, so you can't just ask ChatGPT to create images of copyrighted characters.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they're probably smart, actually, because they don't want people to create all these different, these images of copyrighted characters and use them for various things, like, putting it on T-shirts, it's unauthorized or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Midjourney says, hey, from our perspective, we can't stop people. People are using it incorrectly. Why is that our fault? Right. So, but Disney's arguing that basically you got to put the guardrails or whatever it is into your tool.
Gun companies use?
Gun companies?
Gun companies.
Oh, gun companies.
Gun manufacturers use that same thing. We make them. If somebody's going to grab it and use it in the inappropriate way, that's not our fault.
I guess that's right. So, Nick, what is your take? Is it? Does this lawsuit make sense to you, or is it forcing these AI image generators to put necessary guardrails? Should there be, or is it just too big to manage, or what do you think?
It does make sense because we're in the infancy stage of AI, and where everyone together is learning how to use this together, and what can be done with it. Because right now, when you get this super powerful, this AI up with it can generate all these things, it's limitless. But like you said, I mean, Disney has a right to say, like, yeah, these are our characters. Like, you know what I mean? You don't get to use our characters and without some type of, license to do so. But it's because it's happening so rapidly that, like, we're learning this on the fly. You know what I mean? Like the procedures are being put in place as we speak because everybody's just kind of figuring it out as we go. So I totally get where they're coming from. But there again, that company, I mean, does have the right to also feel like Dean said. I mean, we can't. We just created this engine or this technology. we can't help what people are doing with it. But at the same time, because there wasn't there not so long ago, it reminded me the Scarlett Johansson was suing
Yes.
one of them
It was
because
like her image,
used her in like some type of campaign for
Mhm.
against anti-Semitic speech or hate or whatever, which is a good cause. But the fact of the principle of it is, I did not like that's not me. Like I didn't shoot this
Mhm.
commercial. I was not asked for my permission to use what is clearly me on this. So I mean, even though it's a good message, by the same token, the flip side of that is you could use that stuff for something not good. And like we've gone through in
Yeah.
the past, the thing that scares us about AI is that people don't always know what's real and what's not anymore
There's
as
stupid
this
people out there.
technology advances. Yeah.
Mhm.
And as it gets more and more advanced, it's going to be harder and harder to tell. And so there definitely needs to be some type of regulations on that, on using this
Put some sort of,
technology.
like a warning system, PG-13 or whatever, put over like, warning Gen X, that this isn't real, guys.
Yeah.
You guys need to not believe everything you'll see. No, I mean, honestly, it's kind of like this podcast. Weekly we put out banger after banger after banger of an episode, and if people want to masturbate to it, which I'm fully of the understanding that they do, that's not on us.
Right.
We can't determine or figure out what we're not. It's not on us what they do after we put it out there.
And it can't be on us because we're just on a screen. We can't actually be made contact with.
I've seen some pictures.
No.
Looks like a giant flesh shark's coming at you, Nick.
Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, there's going to be regulations. Like Nick said, we're in the beginning of this. The lawyers are going to figure it out, like lawyers figure everything out. They sue, laws come about. It will figure itself out. If I was Scarlett Johansson, of course I wouldn't want somebody to be thinking I'm doing something that I'm not. And beyond that, I don't want to have my shit out there or my likeness out there and not get paid for it. I'm a performer. This is my livelihood, and anybody can just put me in a fucking Toyota commercial or whatever. No, but they'll figure it out. They always do.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it makes sense. I mean, if I'm the AI generator company as well, frankly, it protects us as well. That way, just try to put some guardrails up the best you can on copyrighted. So many things have it anyway, right? You can't you can't even just take certain photos offline and use them for other purposes because they have copyrights and everything.
Correct.
So, it's not your character. You don't own it. You can't do whatever you want with it. So, okay.
Now I will ask.
It's fine. Go ahead.
I would like to ask, what is the difference between? Okay, so say you're using Darth Vader. Darth Vader gets a Father's Day card. Okay,
Mhm.
this is an original image because you're taking a character that is licensed, but you are putting
Right.
them in a new image that in some way, shape, or form was generated by you, the user. Now, how is that different from, say, you go to Brian, we went to that in Kenmore, the first Friday thing, or
Mhm.
fourth Friday, or whatever they do. And there was a street vendor, very talented guy, doing artwork, and he's doing artwork of Godzilla and The Crow and My Hero Academia and Chucky and different horror movie characters. They are his own drawn art,
Mhm.
but he is taking licensed characters and drawing them himself and profiting on it, making money. How are those two different?
I mean, technically, you really shouldn't be doing that if you want to be technical. But
Again,
he's
nothing
so
against
small.
this guy. He does a great. I bought some of his pieces myself.
Oh yeah,
I got
no, but he's
that
go
first
ahead.
Friday. I got this, Brian. I think you got the same
Yeah,
one.
I do.
It is Chewbacca as a Buddha statue. It was
3D
done
printed.
on a 3D printer. Now, the reason they're able to do this is because they're so small. If all it would take was somebody from Lucasfilms to walk by and go, no, shut this down. And they would have, by law, they could have them shut it down.
Gotcha.
Because this is somebody at a flea market or one of these booths. That's how they're able to get away with it. They're not supposed to be doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, if you were selling it on a large scale that got the attention, to Dean's point, of an executive, I think they would say no. Or if you had the opportunity to try to license something at a large scale, you would approach them and say, I have an idea to market Chewbacca in a Buddhist thing. Of course, they could just say
$5 for that thing.
Exactly. Right. So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, but I think that's it. All right.
That Chat GPT, the other day I was playing around with it. I was making some of the pictures for the website, and it will shut things down.
Yeah,
or like Brian said, it won't give you everything you need. I said, can you give me the best insurance quote? And I said, who the fuck do you think I am, Aaron Blake?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, Chat GPT. Let me tell you about Aaron Blake. Aaron Blake, he runs this insurance company. He will provide the utmost importance.
Should have written this down, eh?
I didn't have the beginning part at the end here. All right, fine.
Here, utmost, I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, he's out of his depth. No.
All right. No, all right, fine. Oh. That's fine.
Go ahead. No, it's good.
No. Go around knocking shit over Nick's house. All right. Let me tell you about Blake Insurance. As Nick's laughing, because he's a laughing boy. The Blake Insurance Group is an independent agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio, offering personal care and support for all of your insurance needs. If you need auto, home, business, or even life insurance, Brian, listen up. Give Aaron a call. He'll hit you where it counts, in your wallet. Nick, listen up. He's going to treat you with the honesty, decency, and respect you deserve. You want to call it Blake Insurance Group with 234-571-5359, or find them online at blakeinsurancellc.com for your free 5-minute quote today.
Nice. It was a great segue. I was really rooting for you.
Oh, that was good.
You can eat my ass.
Hey,
if Nick wouldn't have interrupted.
Well, this story is not artificial intelligence. This really happened with a real animal here. So a 30-year-old man in Randolph, New Jersey, is recovering from minor injuries after he was gored by a bison at Yellowstone National Park. This is on June 10th at Old Faithful. So basically, he and a group of people gathered too closely to a bison. I would assume probably to go just to take a picture or something like that. So the park urges people to stay 25 yards away at least from large animals such as bison, elk, etc. And also urges visitors to take the Yellowstone Pledge, a commitment to act responsibly and safely. Of course, this guy did not do that, and he got gored. Probably lucky to be alive, frankly. So very simple. Ask an idiot question here, guys. When you hear stories like this, and you see and hear them all the time with people trying to make TikToks and selfies and all these different things out there on social media, they try to get a picture with an animal and puts them in a, it's like they're not thinking the animal is a wild animal, or it's there's not an unsafe situation or something like that. In a way, do you secretly enjoy when people get hurt, not killed? Get hurt when they do something stupid like this, or am I just being a little bit too dark on that subject? So Nick, what is your feeling when you hear a story like this? A guy got hurt for being stupid. He's okay, but
Was he just trying to
Shouldn't have
take a
been there.
picture with it? Like, was he just trying to get close and
doesn't
take like a
say.
picture nearby? Was he fucking
Doesn't
with it?
say, but he was too close. He was
Gotcha.
definitely too close with people. I assume it's probably something like that to either video or get a picture. Probably that type of situation, I'm guessing.
Okay. I'd say this guy is probably not a great example of when it, because sometimes, yes, it does. Like, I enjoy that when people are like over the line, fucking with something or, just trying to be funny or whatever. It is enjoyable when they get
You know
hurt.
how many people has lost fingers getting that close to like fucking with me while I was eating? Same
No, I
deal.
bet.
Yeah. Too many to count.
Yeah.
But like it's
Especially in their
this guy doesn't sound like he was doing anything super egregious, so like it sucks. But it is a good lesson that like like you said, Brian, these are still wild animals, and even though a bison is not necessarily what you would think of as one of the most threatening creatures, they're still massive
It's a
and
huge
certainly
animal,
very
yeah.
dangerous. I mean, they're
Mhm.
big, they're wild animals, and they're not overly aggressive, typically, but yeah, if they feel threatened or I will say though, like there, for example, to answer your question, like there is nothing that I enjoy more than when you see bull riders get absolutely fucked up. Like actually, and even if they die, I'm just kind of like I'm fine with it. Like I don't even care. They literally keep these bulls back there and prod them and shock the shit out of them and piss them off while they're enclosed, and then see how long the stupid hillbillies can stay strapped to the back of them. I want to see them be gored. I want to see one bull rider impaled on each fucking horn. Like I just fucking, it's so aggravating. Like just, it's so stupid. So there are situations where I feel like people are just over the line and, taking these wild animals, with what they can get away with for granted. And so sometimes I think people deserve it. But it is a good, like with this guy, like definitely a good lesson, right? Like it is nice to try to snap a picture maybe with something in the background or whatever, but it's not the Easter bunny at the mall. You don't need to go like put your arm around it and shit. Like just fucking maybe snap a picture from afar, like maybe
What are you
it's
doing with
people
Easter
will
bunnies
believe you
at
were
the
there.
mall? You're in your 40s, you creepy fuck.
Well, how else is he gonna know what to fucking bring me on Easter morning?
That's true.
He might not show up to my house. I have nothing to find on Easter morning. So like, what the fuck? But no, I do. You have to respect nature and wild animals, and never forget that humans are only where we are because of the way we were able to structure a society. Like we are not as high on the food chain as we like to believe. Sometimes you got to keep that in mind. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Dean, what do you think?
Well, I was looking this up as you were talking, and it didn't just gore him; it bit his ear.
Oh,
I
shit.
missed that part. Okay.
Mike
Yeah,
Bison.
That was the fucking joke. God damn it!
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
I was like, they're
good.
gonna love this. It just came to me.
I don't know. Nick ruined the fucking joke. Anyways,
Okay. Tell people
Mike.
about insurance again. See, give that another shot. Maybe that'll go better.
Suck an egg. Suck an egg, my friend. You're ruining reads. You're ruining jokes.
I'm proud of myself. Mike Bison.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nick Schaefer. Yep.
There you go. Yep.
Dean, any other thoughts on the?
No, I fucking love when
situation?
people. I fucking love when people get hurt. Fuck, I wish the bull would have killed him. I don't give a shit about these people.
Yeah, it's another level, Nick. Like you said, if you have a sport like bull riding, bull fighting, where you're aggravating or harming or even sometimes killing that's a whole other world. You're right. So if you do that and you get hurt or killed, then hey, more power to the animal in that situation. I'm with you on that, but just be smart. Go ahead.
I do want to see that selfie that the guy took. It's probably the most terrified fucking face with a bison horn up his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that selfie.
I feels like every year you hear a few stories where somebody tried to get a picture with a bear or something stupid out in the park, right? And a bear fucking kills them or something. It's just like, dude, I don't know.
I will root every time for the animal.
Yeah. I mean, if certainly if you're just out in nature and something unexpected happens and you were going about your business and respecting nature, that's a whole other thing. That's a tragedy. Okay. But if you're dumb enough to put yourself in a situation where you're too close to a wild animal that you can't possibly predict and you get hurt, then that's 100% on you. So
I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast here, but I did something similar. This isn't a joke. This actually happened. I was at my
Wish I knew
brother.
it so I could swoop in and steal it from you.
No, that you can't. This is a joke. I was at my brother-in-law's sister's house, and they own like a farm, right? And we were by a bonfire. We were drinking, and I had a few too many. And I look over at the pen where there's a cow, and I said out loud, I said, "Dean, you should go ride that cow."
oh boy.
So drunk Dean runs over, hops the fence, and jumps on the cow. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to ride a cow. If anybody out there has tried to ride a cow, they don't like it. So what the cow proceeded to do is turn his head around and bite my arm with his cow teeth and rip me off his back and threw me to the ground and then just walked away.
That
Yeah,
really
look at you
happened?
get kicked.
That really happened. That it was at Rob's sister's house.
Yeah,
I
man.
You
ride a
jumped
cow.
on a cow?
I jumped on a cow, thinking I could ride it, and it bit me and threw me off, pulled me
Yeah,
off
look-
with the stupid cow head.
How hard
Look,
did
it
it
didn't
bite?
kick you.
Enough to like pull me, like it
But I mean, did it like break skin or break your arm or anything? It's just like
They
enough
have
to like
flat
grab a hold.
teeth.
And...
Yeah, they have flat teeth, so it bit me enough to like hold on to my fucking arm and yank me off. It was awesome. So
There
yeah,
you go.
I got what I deserved.
Then
I got
Dean
drunk.
said,
I tripped.
"Let's see what else that mouth do."
Like, oh, that's not the right end.
And then I said out loud to myself, "Dean, you should fuck that cow."
Actually, the cow said that. I don't know what to talk about the rest of the night.
All right. Yep.
Cow said, "You're going to pee sitting down from now on."
All right. Well, I think we will.
Brian, you ever ride
end-
a cow?
You
No.
ever had a cow?
No.
Well,
Not even
yeah,
20s?
maybe in the early 2000s,
Out of the bar?
range. Yeah,
In the early
late 90s, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah. I
Bar was
digress.
closing.
Well, with the utmost respect, we're going to end this segment here and come back with our main topic. And Nick will utterly describe it to you right after this.
Don't move.
I hate you so much.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell two enemies.
Hello out there, and welcome to the final segment of Convincing Idiots, the gripping conclusion. I am Millennial Nick alongside Gen X Brian and Dezennial Dean.
My
That's
panties are moist.
Mm-hmm. This, as you all know, is a podcast. Podcasts are all the rage these days. And in fact, perhaps if we had our own podcast in which we were doing epic, in-depth interviews with some of today's finest characters, in which those who are fictional, who, for our final segment, gentlemen, would be some of our guests. We're going to be discussing our top 5 picks for fictional characters in which we would have as a guest on a podcast. So I don't know how you guys did this. I was thinking about it after. I was just kind of thinking in a broad aspect, right? I'm an interviewer, and I want
Ladies, they like to be called ladies.
a fictional character that I would like to learn
Yep.
more about.
So-
Then I started thinking about it, I was like, I guess I also could have looked at like who would go best on this podcast. I am someone who has a podcast, and who would fit in well on this show. So I don't know how you guys categorized it, but I kind of went with the just purely off of characters I would
Yep.
like to interview. So
That's what I
Dean,
did. Yep.
Why don't you start us out, man?
Okay. Well, I started out thinking to myself, what do I want to know more about? I think of these characters of like how.
Ad reads, probably. Oh, it was rhetorical.
Inappropriate and way too soon.
Sorry.
No, I am going to start with his name is Bandit Healer. I don't know if you're familiar with Bandit Healer. He is the dad on Bluey.
Yeah.
And I two reasons. One, I want to find out where in the fuck his patience comes from. Where does this develop? How did he become the dad that we all are now measured to and come up way too short?
Yeah.
And then it would be fun because, like, on my one-on-one podcast, we're drinking. It's kind of like the hot ones where they're eating the chicken wings and answering questions.
Yeah.
We're doing beers. We're doing beers, answering questions. So I think I could get a really honest conversation out of Mr. Healer, and I think that he could open up and really, you see a real different side of him. So,
okay. If I may venture a guess at your first question, where he gets this patience, there is an episode. I'd say it was passed down from his mother. There is an episode where Granny is in it, which is his mother, and she is incredibly patient with the children as well when they're staying at Granny's house.
All right.
She plays along with every little made-up thing that they want to do.
You got more sexiness.
That's right, exactly.
You're
yes,
wrong.
passed down generationally. That's right. So, but no, it's that's a great pick.
Thank you. So, Brian, who's your first pick?
I'm gonna use one that Ali suggested. I love this idea. I need to uplift it. The world needs happiness. The world needs uplifting stories and joy. And I don't know what character you can interview that would probably
podcast.
Who could bring more joy than Santa Claus, gentlemen? How would you like to interview Santa Claus? That would just be nothing but happiness, and I probably could go ahead.
Well, no,
fictional character, Brian.
Fictional character, Brian.
That's true.
It doesn't count.
That is true. Well, some perceive.
Nick, he's not even going to follow the rules.
Brian, what are you saying?
Some perceive as fictional. It's so
they're wrong.
How about that?
They just don't believe they're wrong.
No, Nick, he's real. He's real. Don't let him chin up, buddy. He is real.
It's just that Brian has known a lot of stuff in the past.
No. Well, sometimes he's wrong. This time he's wrong. Nick.
Okay.
Well, some incorrect. Right. Some people incorrectly think he's fictional, Nick. So
okay.
So that's what I meant to say here. Right.
Okay.
So interviewing the real Santa, some people don't believe. Of course, we all believe, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's on this list because Santa has been portrayed in movies. So that is the
true. That's true.
That's right. That's all I meant. That's all I meant.
That's sound logic. That's true. Okay.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Start to scare me a little bit there.
Yeah. Didn't mean to worry you.
Yeah.
Nick, who do you have?
I am going to start here with my first one that came to my mind was I thought, who is somebody that I would like to know more about? And when I think of characters in pop culture, there is truly one, maybe perhaps more than any other, that is a complete and 100% unknown. And he has prompted us many times in the times that we've seen him, if we have any questions. And I have tons and tons of questions, all the questions. I want to interview David S. Pumpkins, portrayed by Tom Hanks on Saturday Night Live. We know nothing about David Pumpkins other than the fact that he is on most of the floors of this this haunted elevator ride in a Saturday Night Live sketch. And I want to know more about David S. Pumpkins. What does that stand for starters? Does he have some involvement with the park? How did he get into this? Is he married? Does he have a family? Like, is his actual last name Pumpkins? Right. So yeah, David S. Pumpkins, played by none other than Tom Hanks. I would like to interview, and I have tons of questions.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good start.
Yep.
All right, guys. For my next episode of my podcast, we're gonna switch up the beer, and we're gonna go, excuse me, to a little bit of the devil's lettuce, and I'm gonna interview the dude.
Oh yeah,
Me and the dude are going to get
that's
fucking
a good one.
philosophical. It's gonna last probably 6 hours. Just because tape runs out, that's the only reason it ends, and then we still will go on for another. That's right. It's still going to go on for another fucking 4 after that.
Yeah.
I think it would be enlightening. The people will love to hear, his, just hours upon hours of him just letting us in on his dudisms. So
Yeah.
the dude,
he's got great stories too.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fucking amazing, I think.
Yeah.
No, that's
Brian?
good. A very complex character. I think you get all kinds of different sides of this person. He's a genius, but then he's battling super dark demons and trying to cope with anger and issues and the whole thing. How about Dr. Bruce Banner? Dr. Bruce Banner, gentlemen. So,
Nice.
of course, Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk when all that. But
too.
he is. As I said, you have the very interesting side of Banner, and he's literally a genius. But then again, how does he keep calm? How does he battle the darkness within him and lose control of just all that? I think would just be a fascinating conversation to see how he tries to deal with the pain of being the Hulk.
Find out where he gets his stretchy pants.
That's right.
Yeah, where is it? Why why only
That's a good
purple?
question.
It's mainly purple.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm busting out of something purple's busting out of my zipper every time I think about Dean, and I can't.
There you have it. There you
I need
have
some
it.
stretchy pants and some give.
Not lipstick, it's Nick stick.
All right. For mine, I'm also going to follow up with the doctor as well. My podcast would like to inject a little intellect, and I think it would be very interesting to have this very intelligent gentleman on my podcast, and that would be none other than Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. That is Jeff Goldblum's character.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
obviously a very intelligent character. Also a bit of an adventurer, and he's got tons of fun. This is the time a dinosaur almost ate me stories. But at the end of the day, the real reason for this pick, I'm just trying to sit down and have a conversation with Jeff Goldblum or someone Jeff Goldblum has played. So Dr. Ian Malcolm on the list.
Good fucking get. Yeah, I like that. All right, my next one, gentlemen. He is he's in all of our hearts. He has been since we were children. And once I get him on the show, you're goddamn right. My first question is going to be about his dick and how it works. I'm going to sit down with Darth Vader.
Sure. Okay.
I have a lot of questions about the Force. I have a lot of questions about his family and the dynamics and regrets. And yes, all of that. I think it'll be a fascinating conversation, but I need to know how he pisses. I've never seen a zipper. Is there a Velcro thing by the gooch at the bottom there? Like, what's going on? I'm very curious.
I've always imagined there's some type of bag situation with a catheter, like there's some type of carry-on bag on the side, like strapped to his leg.
Boot where he just kind of shakes his leg occasionally and you get a little.
It's probably just like residual like lava burn piss, just kind of dripping from it, like without control,
heat?
kind of thing. Yeah, it's just kind of
hot. Okay, all right, like vapors. You got vapor dick.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, either way, I think it'd be a fascinating conversation, and I get at least an hour with that voice. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd love to hear about all that in great detail on that podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian?
I like it. Dark interview here. Yeah, you're definitely going to hear a whole other side of motivation and pain. What drive one of the most driven characters portrayed in the comics and on television on the Daredevil series, and he had his own series as well. How about Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher?
It's good.
That would be a dark interview, but I think he really would try to understand a guy's drive in what he does and really understand his perspective on what is really fighting crime, what's really needed to fight crime in this country. We all know what but anyways, I think it'd be a very fascinating and depressing type interview. You probably would really
A lot of sadness.
really learn. You come to understand, a lot of sadness, but you probably would walk away with, I may not agree with this guy, but I could certainly understand his perspective on things.
Either that or you're walking out going, I need to kill a motherfucker.
It could be. Could be. That would be a guy that would convince you that would make sense to do that, So, yeah, Frank Castle.
Nice. It's a good pick. My next pick, another one. Once again, I'm fascinated by these characters who are very ominous. We know very little about them, but yet we're so enamored by them. This gentleman, this one's actually my favorite pick, I think, of all of them that I came up with, because it would certainly be the most fun and entertaining. The entire time I'd throw some questions, but I'd merely be a spectator and just let him go. We don't know much about this gentleman other than the fact that he had a very illustrious career in the WWF, but he does in fact hail from parts unknown. And I would like to interview the Ultimate Warrior. I want to know, spill the tea. I want everything. I want to know the backstory of the Ultimate Warrior and where he hails from with these warriors and these parts unknown, and some wild shit that he used to say.
On the reservation.
Yeah. I want to know. I just want to hear him rant and rave and talk about being a little warrior. Maybe how he found his way to being the ultimate one, the Ultimate Warrior. And
Nicholas, when the power of the sun comes out at you, and it brings you the joy and the steam and the beings of the light, you have no force, and it will bring you the ultimate podcast.
Yes. Tell me that wouldn't be a fucking blast to interview the character of the Ultimate Warrior.
There's a video out there, and it's a compilation of the Ultimate Warrior saying Hulk Hogan's name.
Hulk Hogan. And there's subtitles and it's different.
And everyone is different the way he says it, because he's such a fucking idiot. It's awesome.
Hogan. Yeah. Hogan.
So great. Everybody look that up. Ultimate Warrior saying Hulk Hogan's name in different ways. It's fucking
right. Yep. Ultimate Warrior. There we go.
That's good.
Dean?
All right. Sorry, I was
thinking about podcasting with the Ultimate Warrior, weren't you?
Well, I didn't have on my bingo card me doing the Ultimate Warrior impression this episode, but here we are. No, I need. We're getting high. We're talking about fucking cyborgs, wizards. I'm talking fucking cartoon dogs. I need to bring it down, chill, and really just relax and be happy. I need uplifted, guys. So that is why I'm going to have Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso is going to give me the anecdotes that I need to live my life better, one little story at a time. So Ted Lasso is going to teach us all and make us all feel better about ourselves at the end of my podcast.
There you go.
I like that. The Eternal Optimist.
That's right. I can just stare at that mustache.
Yeah.
Good. This interview could go in so many directions here. You can have an endless podcast with this guest if he would be willing to keep coming on and interviewing. His own existence in itself would be fascinating, but then you can literally go on endless tangents and scenarios. How about The Watcher, gentlemen?
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's seeing it all.
He's seen it all. He knows all the endless variations of and parallel universes and everything. He knows if one decision went just differently, what that timeline would look like for that character, probably for you as a person. If you didn't do this or if you did that, where would your life be if this or that? You could drive yourself nuts if you're not careful.
Yeah, well, it's going to make you sad. He's probably going to tell you, what it would have been like if you wouldn't have joined this podcast and how better your life would have been.
Yeah.
And you're just going to get fucking sad about it.
Yeah. Yep. That's very possible. Very possible.
Man.
Yeah. The Watcher.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
This next character is one that I'm a big fan of, and once again, one that I know very little about, because as much as there are deep dives in many characters in this universe, this one really we don't know a ton about, and it is Salacious Crumb from Star Wars. We know him as the little cackling little asshole that sits down by Jabba in the palace, and I have questions. I know some things, as you guys know. I'm
your nickname in high school.
If there's cackling asshole, if there if there is such a thing as a super fan of Salacious Crumb, I might be one of the closest things there are to it. I have an odd fascination with the character for being such a small one in Star Wars, but I have looked up things. I know that
the same size.
That's right. I know he's a Kowakian monkey lizard, and I know that the backstory is that he was I think taken prisoner by Jabba. I don't know how, I don't know why, but his one duty was to basically make
duty.
His one goal or objective on a daily basis was to be basically like Jabba's court jester and make him laugh at some point in the day, or be some type of amusement to him, or else he would be put to death. But I'd like to know, I don't even know what obviously he's cognizant of what's going on, so even though he is more of a creature than like a humanoid type being, he has a sense of humor. He's always laughing, and so I'd like to, if we might need a translator. I don't think he speaks English, but I would like to interview Salacious Crumb and find out just how he wound up in Jabba's palace, and why that suits him. It seems like he's kind of settled into that role. So I would interview Salacious Crumb.
What have you got once you started the interview? You gave your introduction like that, and super fandom and everything, and then he just comes out and he's got like a really high class British accent. That'd be pretty fucking awesome. Yes, me.
Well, it's just done with like glasses and some tea or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pulls out his pipe, fucking cleans it out.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. He's one of the high society monkey lizards on Kuwait. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
I like
the
that.
Downton Abbey part.
I like that narrative.
All right, guys. For my last one, I saved the best for last. When you interview a one-on-one interview, you do it for multiple reasons. You do it because you want to know their story. You do it because the audience will be fascinated and riveted. You do it. Sometimes you do it just because you can be in the room with somebody. Wednesday Adams.
There you go. Anytime Dean can get alone in a room with a 15-year-old girl, he's all over it.
No, you know what? She is over 50. She is over 18. She is in her 20s. And she will be a fascinating podcast guest. She will talk about the dark arts. She will talk about living with such a wild family, crazy family. And I can just sit back and enjoy the just her aura, her being.
Sure.
So nice. Yeah, my pick is Jenna Ortega. I mean Wednesday Wednesday Addams.
Just make sure that you wrap up the podcast in time, because it probably would be a school night, and she probably has to be back home at a certain time.
You know what? I have had about Brian.
Yeah, there'll be a strange hand running around there, and it won't be a thing. You know what I mean? Thank you. Yeah. But this character here he had a long illustrious life. I think he's one of the most fascinating characters in the Star Wars universe. Studied Jedi for hundreds of years. How about Yoda? I think an interview with Yoda would be fascinating, not just to learn about his perspectives of Jedi, just his teachings in general. I think that would be rethink your own life and perspectives and everything, and he would teach people an awful lot in general. So yeah,
Good.
Give me the great Yoda. Yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
And for my final one, guys, this character just feels like he was meant for this very question. It would probably need to be like either a return episode, or we'd have to record long and do a double episode here. But it would have to be, he's literally known as none other than the most interesting man in the world from the Dos Equis commercials. I mean, just through little snippets of commercials. He's got all these interesting tales and these little snippets of information about him and clips of him doing insane things that, let's just learn more about him. Where did he get this adventurous spirit? Is it simply from drinking Dos Equis? If I drink Dos Equis at the same rate I'm drinking Busch Light apples, will I become interesting? Like, how did we get here? Where did this wondrous spirit come from? I, in a never-ending quest to stay thirsty, my friends, would like to interview the most interesting man in the world.
I like it. I'll listen to that. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to call an audible here. I know you two have not heard this yet, or this idea, but I'm gonna present it now.
Brian doesn't like surprises.
I know he does. I can look at his eyes. But we can try this out this week. We're going to call this the relief pitcher, because we do a lot of these lists here. At the end of the list, we're going to have a chance to replace one of our people with somebody else. Maybe somebody you had on your honorable mentions, somebody that you thought, you're like, you know what? I would rather have had this person rather than this after hearing everybody's list. So this week for the relief pitcher, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I really would enjoy sitting down with Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. It would be nice, but this week my relief pitcher, I'm taking out Jenna Ortega, Wednesday Addams, and I've got to go with Howard Langston. Howard Langston, to me, would be much more of an interesting interview. Being the criminal that he is, I think that I would like to get his side of the story. In how he got away with such lawlessness.
And he saved the day at the end, is what happened.
Still broke a lot of laws, and I'd like to hear his side. So my relief pitcher for this week is Howard Langston for Wednesday Addams.
That is a good one. I was going to say the crimes weren't that bad, except for like the bomb in the building. That one was pretty egregious.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
Brian, I know we're just sprung this on you, but you got a relief pitcher this week?
Which Jingle All the Way character would you like to interview?
You don't have to use a relief pitcher. I'm just saying, is at the end of these lists, if you have, call your relief pitcher out. If not, you're like, you know what? My lineup's good. I don't need one.
I'm gonna stick with mine, but I'll keep the rest as honorable mention when we get to that.
Okay, that's fair. Nikolai?
I also like my lineup, but I will say I will, in lieu of, for the sake of the segment, I will swap out. I had one honorable mention, and I'll swap them with Salacious Crumb only because I didn't really think about the fact until I was saying it that I don't think he speaks English.
Or maybe words. Like maybe like a
Or
dog.
yeah,
Like,
maybe
doesn't
he
have
like is an
any
animal that
language.
just
Right.
grunts and doesn't understand the language. So maybe I would swap that out in the spirit of Dean's Jenna Ortega pick. My honorable mention was interviewing Lizzie McGuire. And this is mostly so I can be in a room with Hillary Duff.
I can appreciate
but
that.
but I would want to know where she's at today. You know, what's she been up to? She was you know, a popular child, I guess, as a
Where
you know
is she
a young lady.
acquiring these days?
Yeah, what's she been up to? Like, what's she doing? What happened to her life? The sad thing is, we were supposed to know. That was part of the Disney Plus launch. That was one of the main things when they launched Disney Plus was there was going to be a new Lizzie McGuire series with the cast in, you know, as adults. But then it fell apart with something happened with the writers or director. I don't know. But they actually had just bits and pieces like shot because when they were advertising Disney Plus, they showed little bits of it, and I wish we could have had it. But yeah, I'll go with Lizzie McGuire because she speaks English, and even if she didn't, even if she didn't speak at all, I could just kind of sit in a room with an hour,
Sure, just
for an
stare
hour
at.
with her and just look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Good.
there you go. So Brian, what are your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. I have Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Reed Richards on my shirt here. That is again
Okay.
genius. Dr. Frankenstein.
That'd be good.
Yeah, another dark. Again, what motivates him? A genius, but in of course a crazy way. Another uplifting character, Kermit the Frog. I think it'd be super
Oh yeah.
super positive there as well.
Ted
And
Lasso-esque deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'd like to interview both, not at the same time, but Batman and Superman. Understand their drive and passion and motivations and everything. You're going to get two, completely different stories,
Right.
and understand about secret identities and the whole thing. I think both of those would be fascinating interviews as well.
I like that. All right, I got a couple just here. Bugs Bunny, you know, everything that
Sure.
he's seen and done through the past years. I think it'd be interesting. Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Again, given that he, doesn't have an alter ego, like he is who he is,
Yeah.
and he's such an ass, in general, but also with the wizardry that he has. I think it'd be fun. Dracula. Dracula, I think, would be live that long. You're gonna have few stories, right?
Oh, you have to call that episode Interview with the Vampire.
Absolutely. And then Forrest Gump. Again, I mainly want to call out his bullshit, and I want to see like what stories are real, what's not. Is he just a fucking moron? I want to find out a lot of this stuff. And if it's all real, you have a lot of great stories to tell. We can go in depth. So Forrest Gump is my last on my honorable mentions.
Great.
Nice. Very good, gentlemen.
We just did it.
That's it.
Any other ones, Nick?
Nope. I just wanted to work Lizzie McGuire in there somehow, and I did. So
as we all do.
That's right. Actually, wanted to work my way into Lizzie McGuire, but whatever. It's all semantics, so it's the same difference. Anyway, so this has been another episode of Convincing Idiots. Now, obviously, we've all had a lot of fun here tonight. You've had a lot of fun probably listening to us, and you're thinking to yourself, where would I go to get more of this type of entertainment? Well, rather than list them all one by one for you, you could go to Google and type in Convincing Idiots, Linktree, LINKTREE. Find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. You can also go to our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, this has been episode 246. We have been Convincing Idiots. I have been Millennial Nick.
And as always, I'm the Zennial Dean.
I'm the utmost Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to come back and have a sit down with us next week?
3-on-1, bitches.
everybody. Gen X Brian with Millennial Nick and Zennial Dean. We need more people besides Nick's mom watching us. Give us a like and subscribe.
Ham grape.
For our main event, we are going to discuss if you had a podcast like us, but a one-on-one interview podcast, what fictional character would you like to sit down and have a conversation with? Well, we're going to give our opinion and so much more this week on Convincing Idiots. So you see us, find us. Fuck, God damn it. Listen
You
first.
So
Listen.
see us?
I know. God damn it. Listen.
I love the prospect.
That's my concern is the last part. I fucking shit at that.
I
You
love
could
the
just do-
prospect of you see us now. Find us.
Right.
See
I
us,
fucking got
find
it back.
us, or you could find us and see us.
Find us
if
and
you
see
prefer.
us. Anything you fucking want
Yeah.
to do.
There
Yep.
are no rules.
Now, you can just do your part only. I could edit that in if
No
you want
one's
to.
listening.
No, mine wasn't that great either because I kind of
Okay, just redo it.
So let's just start it over. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,